Dear students, I am Aryan Panda. I welcome all of you to this online classes on fundamentals of chemistry. I have been telling you the one thing, we are now reading the things which will help us in understanding the chemistry. We have studied atom, molecule, atomic mass, molecular mass, equivalent mass, mole concept, then symbol, valency, radicals, how to write the formulae, then acids, bases and salts. Now the most vital part of the chemistry is, in the language of chemistry, is balancing chemical equations. Balancing, the topic today is very important topic we are going to study as balancing chemical equation. So first let's come, this is very important because all the chemical reactions are represented by a balanced chemical equation. Every chemical reaction take place, and to write the chemical reaction, to represent the chemical reaction by language of chemistry, we go for, they are represented by a balancing chemical equation. So now what is equation first? Let's learn what is equation. Then we will come to chemical equation. Then we will know how to balance a chemical equation. So what is equation? Equation is an expression which explains the equality of two terms. Two different terms are there. So that expression which relates both of them and both of them are equal, then we say they are in a equation. A simple example, in mathematics you take a plus b whole square. Somebody writes a plus b whole square. Means when you write a plus b whole square, it means a plus b into a plus b. Now if you take a plus b and multiply by again a plus b, then we get a result, that is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So we have taken a plus b whole square. After carrying out that a plus b multiplied by a plus b, we got a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now at that time when you write a plus b whole square is equal to, now we can write a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now you see this is different. A plus b whole square means what? A plus b multiplied by a plus b. This is different, and this is totally different, but both are equal. Both are equal because if you take a plus b multiply by a plus b, you are getting. So this is an expression. This expression explains the equality between two terms. This is one term, this is another term, and they are equal, so we are writing a sign of equality between them, so we call this as an equation. Equation is an expression which explains the equality between two terms. Now then question comes chemical equation. We'll come to what is called chemical equation. Now what happens during a chemical reaction, the substances undergo reaction to produce a product. We take the substances and they undergo a change and they produce a product. That product, example I am giving you, suppose we take carbon and we take oxygen. Now carbon is an element, oxygen is an element, and oxygen is a gas. Now if you take carbon and oxygen, then we heat. When we heat, Now carbon reacts with oxygen. Carbon will react with oxygen to produce what? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. So this is carbon. We have taken carbon, this black, solid, and we are taking oxygen, is a gas, colorless gas. Then we are getting carbon dioxide, CO2. Now this is a chemical reaction. Carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide produced is called as a product. Is produced, so we call this as a product. And they are reacting, so we call them as reactants. They are called as reactants. Carbon is reacting with oxygen. Carbon is an element, a solid. Oxygen is a gas, and they are reacting. Okay, how? Now we are heating them. So when you heat them, if you keep carbon and oxygen is there, then they will not react. But if you take carbon and heat it with oxygen, then the carbon will react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is the product, and these are reactants. They undergo what? A chemical reaction. They undergo chemical reaction to produce the product. So this is now we are representing by, by representing by symbols and formulae. If we write in language, if we write in language, what is this? We write this as carbon. And what is this? It is oxygen. What we are doing? We are heating. And when we heat, what we got? We got carbon dioxide. This is an expression. We have expressed carbon when heated with oxygen forms carbon dioxide. This is an expression. Now we want to explain this in terms of chemical language. So the symbol of carbon is C, symbol of oxygen gas is O2. They react to form carbon dioxide, CO2. So this is an expression which explains the chemical reaction. And now what you find? Here is one carbon atom, here is one carbon atom, here are two oxygen atoms, and here are two oxygen atoms. And this now there is equal. Left side is equal to right side. So this is an expression which explains the equality. That means one atom of carbon reacts with two atoms oxygen to form a molecule of carbon dioxide. So this is a chemical reaction. We are expressing the chemical reaction by an equation. So we call this a chemical equation. We call this as a chemical equation. So reactants, so what happens? The reactants react to form the product. And then why, question comes, why a chemical reaction can be represented by a chemical equation? Why? Now because we know atom is this, who takes part in chemical combination? The atoms take part in chemical combination. Here carbon is a one element, oxygen is another element, two elements, they are atoms, they react, they produce carbon dioxide gas. So always atoms take part in chemical reaction. Then what more about the atom? Atom cannot be created or destroyed. Then what is the very fundamental law of science? The mass cannot be created or destroyed. Then energy remains constant. The energy cannot be created or destroyed, but the energy changes from one form to the other form. Heat energy can be converted to electrical energy. Electrical energy can be converted to sound energy. So all this conversion can be possible. Quantitative conversion possible, qualitative conversion possible, but there will not be any loss or gain of energy. There is atoms, they never lose. Atoms are not lost. atoms are not lost. So the number of atoms they undergo chemical change are always equal to the number of atoms produced as a product. The number of atoms undergo chemical change are always equal to the number of atoms produced as product. Hence, every chemical reaction can be represented by a chemical equation. So, every chemical reaction can be represented by a chemical equation. Number of atoms of left equation is what? Equality. So it's all right. Then chemical. Then why this word balancing? And the question comes, because equation is an expression which explains the equality of two terms. Then what is the use of word balancing? Why comes balancing? Now what do you mean by balance? Suppose you take a balance. We have a balance. If you want to weight, take a weight of anything. We put on the left side the object. Then we go on putting the weight on the right side. So this goes up and down, up and down. A time will come when they remain straight. They do not undergo any change. That is called balanced. Now it is balanced. We have you. Then what is this balancing here? Chemistry. Now because there are certain substances they remain in atomic state. There are certain substances they remain in molecular state. What is that? We have read in Avogadro's law that all elementary gas molecules are diatomic. So every gas molecule will remain in a diatomic state. So that's the reason we are not writing here O2. So carbon reacts with the two atoms of oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This is not a balanced chemical equation. This is a chemical equation, but not balanced chemical equation, because oxygen never remains in atomic state. Atoms of oxygen combine to form a molecule of oxygen. Hence, whenever we are representing a gas, we will represent it in a molecular form. Any elementary gas, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, we say nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. So this is a chemical reaction. We want to put it in equation form. How many oxygens are here? 2. So we write 2 atoms of oxygen react with 1 atom of nitrogen to form nitrogen dioxide. This is an equation. This is an equation. This is a chemical equation, but not a balanced chemical equation. Somebody may tell, sir, 2 atoms, 2 atoms, 1 atom, 1 atom. Yes, but these 2 atoms, they never remain like this. And this nitrogen never remain like this. Then what happens? Now you have here nitrogen remains in molecular state. Oxygen remains in molecular state, and nitrogen dioxide is a molecule. So you have to make it molecular. That means you have to write what? N2, and here it is O2, 2O, so O2, and this is 2NO2. Now this is called balanced chemical equation. Then somebody said the same thing. You have 2 atoms, 2 atoms. So here also 1 atom, 1 atom, 2 atom, 2 atom. Well, no, it's not balanced chemical equation, because nitrogen never remains in as a nitrogen atom. It always remains as a nitrogen molecule. All elementary gas molecules are diatomic. So whenever we are representing a chemical reaction, if elementary gas molecules are reacting, then we have to represent them in a molecular state. So this is an atomic equation. This is a skeleton equation. This is what? A skeleton equation. Nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. It's a skeleton. This is a skeleton. Now then we make it, since the number of atoms, if you want to make it an equation, then you have to make the number of atoms equal. So two atoms, so write 2 atoms, 1 atom. So this is an equation now. This is an expression, this is an equation. Now this is balanced chemical equation. So for simple example I can give you, balanced diet. I am feeling hungry, I take my food. Suppose nothing is available, only bread is available. So I'll take bread and eat. If I go on eating every day bread, then I'll suffer and I'll go to doctor. Then he will say, sir, you take some protein with you, you take some fats, you take some vitamins, but the only thing you are eating, only carbohydrate you are eating. Suppose one goes on eating only rice, he takes food, then diet. The amount of the food necessary for us to live, for our body, is our diet. But diet is not enough. We take balanced diet. Because for our health, for our metabolism, for all the organs to work as they should work, then we need certain amount of protein, certain amount of carbon dioxide, some fats, some vitamins, some minerals and water. All these things, when they combine, this becomes a balanced diet. So that's the reason you take this. These are the things taken in the breakfast, these are the taken in lunch, these are the taken in your dinner, like this. Then again timing comes. One takes, doctor will not say, will tell you take your dinner by before 8 or 8:30. Don't take your dinner beyond that. If you take, it's all right, you will fill your hunger, but you will not be work for your body, it will not go for metabolic activities, it will not properly. You have to finish it. So again condition comes. What condition? Then raw, then boiled. All these things they come. So that is called balanced. So my point is, the balanced word as it should be, if it remains like that, then that is called balance. Balanced personality. Suppose I am a good teacher, I'll teach very nicely, but the students will not respect me. Then a question comes to mind, I was teaching so well, why the students do not respect me? Because when a student puts a question, if I will not answer his question, I will scold him, I will dictate him, then automatically student will not like me to put a question. It becomes one way. At that time the teacher loses his credibility. So the teacher should be composed, he should be a balanced personality he should have. He should be a very lovable person. The way he should speak so nicely that everybody will love to listen. The way what he is telling, he should represent on the board. Then if a student does not understand, he will go on teaching him until he or she understand things. Then everybody will say that he is a good teacher, and then I am a balanced one. So that is called balanced thing. Everything, you have to have a balanced personality, the people say it. So exactly, a chemical equation should be represented by, a chemical reaction is always represented by a balanced chemical equation. So now, what is that? What is this balanced chemical? Because many reactors, if it is a solid, there are some liquid, there are some gas. So when somebody sees that equation, he should understand what is the solid, what is the liquid, what is the gas. A simple example I am telling you. If I say carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This is a skeleton equation. There is a carbon, chemical, there is oxygen, chemical, there is a carbon dioxide, chemical. So to make it equation, then what I write? So I'll write CO2, all right. Then I have 2O and carbon. This is an equation, because number of atoms left side are equal to number of atoms right side. It is an equation, but not a balanced equation. Why? Now oxygen remains in gaseous state and it always remains in diatomic state. So I will write it O2, then I wrote to C, then becomes CO2, then this becomes a balanced chemical equation. It is equation, but this is a balanced chemical equation. If I put it so carbon is a solid, oxygen is a gas, and this carbon dioxide is a gas. It is more expressive. This is a very good balanced equation because I am telling I have taken carbon solid, I allow to react with oxygen gas, and then I have heated and I got carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide I got is a gas. So this is my balanced equation, balanced chemical equation. So every chemical reaction is represented by a balanced chemical equation. If somebody sees the balanced chemical equation, he can understand, he can explain everything from that. So now children, let's write how to write A. Then what is this? We have the during the chemical reaction, what happens? We take the reactants. We take the reactants, and these reactants, they react to produce what? The product. So this is the final stage, and this is the initial stage, and this is the process going on. The process is going on. They react. So what type of reaction? Now it is a chemical change. They undergo what? Chemical change. They undergo a chemical change. Why? Now they to produce the product. So the reactants undergo chemical change to produce a product. And so what is different? Always the reactant is written in the left hand side. The product is written in the right hand side, and there is an arrow mark. What is this? This was there and this has become this now. This was there and this has become this now. So we write an arrow mark, or we can also write a equal sign. So between the reactant and product, we'll always write the reactants in the left side, products in the right side, and whatever changes going on we'll write and this arrow mark in the middle, and whatever changes going on, to express that we can write on the arrow mark, we can indicate that. This is how it is represented. So now question comes, what are the rules for writing, how to write a chemical equation? First we will study how to write a chemical equation, then how to balance a chemical equation. Two parts. This balancing chemical equation can be studied in two heads. One is writing a chemical equation. We study first writing a chemical equation. Writing a chemical equation. After writing the chemical equation, then balancing the chemical equation. Balancing the chemical equation. We'll balance the chemical equation in a proper form. To get it a proper form, we do it. So in two parts. So first, how to write a chemical equation. So how to write a chemical equation? I can write, you remember this SAM. Remember this SAM. I will go by SAM method. What is that method? That's I understand that. I understand that way. The SAM method, I can write a chemical equation. Then I will balance it. So what is this? Writing a chemical equation. Then we'll go for this. So what write first? First point is the reactants. The reactants and products are written by their chemical formulae. Chemical form. That means if it may be written in a symbol, if one element is reacting, one atom is reacting, or it may be react by molecule, then we go by the formulae. So chemical formulae. Second, the reactants. The reactants are written are written in left hand side. In left hand side. In left hand side. And the products are written in right hand side. In right hand side with an arrow mark, there is the arrow mark between them. That means we will write the reactant in the left side by their chemical symbols or formulae, and then put an arrow mark in between and write the product on the right side. So this we got called, that is called skeleton equation. It gives us SAM. I told you na, first S, then A, then M. SAM method I told means for S, and then A, then M. So what I did, the reactants and products are written by their chemical symbols or chemical formulae. Then second, the reactants are written in the left side and the right products are written in the right side to obtain the skeleton equation. This is what this we got is what now? Skeleton. This is called skeleton equation. You got the skeleton equation. Simple example I am telling you. Carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This is what is called skeleton equation. SAM. SAM, SAM. So this is my SAM. Because carbon symbol is C, oxygen symbol is O, carbon dioxide formula is CO2, and this is my S skeleton equation. Then what I will get? A. Then I will get A. Why? Now the mass of the reactant will be equal always to the mass of the product, because there is no loss or gain of mass will take place during a chemical change. Mass is the mass of the reactant will be equal to always to the mass of the product. So number of atoms of reactant are always equal to number of atoms of the product. Hence, third step, what we do, we have to equalize the number of reactants of number of atoms as reactant are made equal to number of atoms as products. Third point, the number of atoms of reactant are always equal to number of atoms formed in the product. Why? The mass will not be lost, so mass remains same. Atom cannot be created or destroyed, so the number of atoms of reactant will be always equal to the number of product. How to do this? Product are always the number of atoms of reactant are always equal to number of atoms formed as product. Hence, so what we have to do? Hence, wherever is required, wherever is required, wherever is required, they are multiplied, they are multiplied by simple whole numbers, by simple whole numbers, either 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, simple whole numbers, to equalize the number of atoms, number of atoms of reactant with number of atoms of product. Number of atoms of reactant are always equal to number of atoms of product. Hence, wherever is required, they are multiplied by simple whole numbers to equalize the number of atoms of reactant with number of atoms of the product. So what was our first? We got the skeleton equation. How we got the skeleton equation? So carbon reacted with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. This is our skeleton equation. This is what? Skeleton equation. Now we'll make it atomic. How? Second step, what we do? Now here are 2 atoms of oxygen. So we multiply this by 2. And this 1. So this side carbon dioxide. This is called A, atomic equation. Now this became atomic equation. Now it is balanced. It is equal. Now this become equation now. Now this became an equation because number of atoms of reactant are equal to the number of atoms of product. But this is not a balanced chemical equation. Now they are equal. The left hand side is equal to right hand side. But it is a chemical equation. But not a balanced chemical equation. Why? Now because oxygen is an elementary gas. And all elementary gas molecules are diatomic. So it will remain in diatomic state. It will has to represent it in the molecular form. So fourth point, since all elementary gas molecules are diatomic, hence wherever required they are multiplied by 2 to make it molecular or have to be represented in molecular form. So this atomic equation had to remain molecular. Now oxygen is present in a molecular state, it has to present in a molecular state. So what is done in the third step, carbon will make it molecular O2 to produce CO2. So this is now a balanced chemical equation. Because oxygen is an elementary gas, it will never remain in atomic state. it will remain in the molecular state, CO2. This is a balanced chemical equation. So first we write the skeleton equation. We obtain the skeleton equation. How? By writing the reactants and products by their chemical symbols and formulae. Then we make the number of atoms of reactant equal to number of atoms of product. So this is what? M. M means what? Molecular equation. Molecular equation. So we make it atomic equation by making equal the number of atoms of reactant equal to product. Then we represent it in a molecular form. So for easy understanding, whole process I wrote as SAM. So I wrote the SAM means skeleton, then atomic, then molecular. If you go by this in your lifetime, however difficult is the chemical reaction, we will never do any mistake in this. For example, one simple example, nitrogen, we know that a chemical reaction, nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to produce ammonia. This is a chemical reaction. Nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to produce ammonia. This is a chemical reaction. So since is a chemical reaction, we can represent it by a chemical equation. What we do, we go by the SAM method. We will get how to get SAM method. First we write the skeleton equation. What is skeleton equation? Represent the reactants and the products in there by their chemical formulae. Or symbols. So nitrogen means N. We will not write, please never write N2. Never write N2. N2 is gas, molecular of nitrogen. But chemical formula of nitrogen is what? N. Symbol N. Reacts with oxygen to form what? Ammonia. So this is my S means what? This is my skeleton equation. I wrote the skeleton equation, this. Skeleton equation. Then I will make it atomic. SAM, S I will make atomic. SAM, I got the skeleton equation. I will make it atomic. How many atoms of hydrogen are here? 3 atoms. So what I will do? I will 3 atoms of hydrogen. How many atoms of hydrogen are here? A product? 3. I will write 3 hydrogen. And how many atoms of nitrogen are here? There? 1. Right. Then NH3. So this is my atomic equation. I got my atomic equation. So I made the skeleton equation as atomic equation. Then I'll make my atomic equation to molecular equation. I'll get it the molecular equation, that is my balanced chemical equation. So what is nitrogen? A gas. So it will remain as what? As a molecule. I will write this N2. And what is hydrogen? Is a gas. What I have to do? I will write it H2. So I have to double this. So I have to multiply this by 2. So I will write this as a molecule. What? I will write 2. Means I am multiplying this 2. This I am writing 2. So I will multiply this by 2. So since I increase it 2, so this side I will write 2 NH3. So this is my M, or my molecular equation. So this is molecular equation is the balanced chemical equation of the reaction nitrogen when reacts with ammonia, when reacts with hydrogen forms ammonia. Somebody told it, an expression, nitrogen when reacts with hydrogen forms ammonia is a chemical reaction. And I want to represent the chemical such a thing by a formula. What I will do, I will write nitrogen, I first write skeleton equation, then I will make it atomic equation, then I will make it molecular equation. That is my balanced balanced chemical equation. So I am representing the chemical equation by balanced chemical equation. What I did, I wrote first nitrogen, N, hydrogen, H, then ammonia, S, ammonia. So this is my skeleton equation. Then what has happened? There are 3 atoms of hydrogen, so they should be equal. So 3H, ammonia. So this is the equation now. This equation, because number of atom of reactant are equal to number of atom product, but not a balanced equation. I will put it in a chemical form. Why? In chemistry, nitrogen is an atom, but nitrogen is an elementary gas. Hydrogen is an elementary gas. So this will remain in molecular state. This will remain in a molecular state. So I have to multiply this by 2, this by 2. So I have to multiply this by 2. So I wrote N2, then I wrote 3S2, then write 2NS3. So this is a balanced molecular equation. This is a balanced chemical equation. If I want to put in a better form, what I will do? I will write nitrogen gas, then hydrogen gas, then ammonia is a gas. So this explains everything of my chemical reaction. So this is a balanced chemical equation, always represents a chemical reaction completely. So what is the necessity of a balanced chemical equation? The balanced chemical equation represents a chemical reaction completely. Chemical reaction completely. So when any chemical reaction goes on, we can represent that chemical reaction by a balanced chemical equation, and we can write the balanced chemical equation by SAM method. First we write the skeleton equation, then you write the atomic equation, then you will write the molecular equation. So this is how I taught you what is a chemical equation, why a chemical reaction can be represented by a chemical equation, then how to write a balanced chemical equation. Now in next class, what we do, we will go on balancing chemical equations. We will write the reactions, we will take different reactions. So reactions are a different type. It may be a combination reaction by synthesis, it may be a decomposition reaction, one break and others are formed. Then it may be a neutralization reaction, acid will react with base to form a salt, or one is an oxidizing agent, other is a reducing agent, they will react to redox reactions. So many type of chemical reactions are there. So we'll go we'll take different type of chemical reactions and write their balanced form of chemical equations. So next class I will teach you different chemical reactions. We'll write how to write the balanced chemical equations for them. Thank you very much.